All right, this is going to be another example of how to make an existing program more efficient by using functions with parameters and arguments. So this code already works. I should be able to type in tigress, let's say, and it finds tigress. I type in something unknown, it gives me this question mark. What else? Mantis, I think I can type in, and we get the picture, the name, and a quote. Okay, for each of these characters. So the code's working already, but and here we have this, right? The search clicked, we get the name. If the name is Poe, we update the page to Poe. If it's Tigress, we update to Tigress, etc. And there's a lot more characters. I have a bunch of images here, but I just wanted to keep it a little smaller so it's not so tedious. And then the final else, right? If it's not any of the recognized names, then it does this question mark, image character not found. Okay, so again, what I want you to recognize, hopefully your brains will start to see this, is that, well, I'm repeating this code, right? I'm setting the inner HTML of this element to the name of the character. I'm setting the source of this image to be this. I'm setting the inner HTML of the quote to be this quote. And then what do I do for Tigress? Oh, I set the inner HTML of the character, this element, to be Master Tigress. I set the source of the image, right? Like this code here and this code here are identical except for the actual content of what we're changing it to. Same with this code here, same with this code here, and same with this code here. Right, so when you see this code that's identical, your brain should say, we should have a function for that. And then I can just call the function to do its job, and then I can call the function again, and I can call the function again. So I'm going to suggest that we should have a function called setCharacter. Okay, so keyword function, the name of the function, parentheses, and then braces. And the function starts and ends here. I'm going to do a little comment. This will basically say update the page to display the provided character information. Okay, zoom in a bit more here, sorry. All right, so provided information. So whenever a function needs information, remember we can define parameters here. Right, so what do I need? I need the name of the character. I need the image path. I'll call that img path. And we need the quote. Right, so each character has a name, an image path, and a quote. And that's going to change depending on the character. All right. And then, well, what's the code for this function? Well, it's going to do the updating the page. So it's going to be this code here, right, where we get this element with the ID character name, which is just, there's the heading, and then there's the quote, and then there's the image. All right, so those elements we're updating. So we get that element, and we set the inner HTML not to be question mark, we set it to be whatever the name parameter is. And then the source of the image, we're going to do the image path. Now, I could pass in the whole image path, but I think it's always img/, it's always .png. Yeah, that's what the background is, JPEG, but all the characters are PNGs. So what we could do here is we could use one of those template strings, and then we could just insert after the image folder and before the PNG, we could insert the img path. Let's call it image name, because it's not the full path, it's just the image name. Image name, so make sure they match. Okay, that should work, right? img/, and then whatever this parameter is, and then .png. And then here we replace that with the quote. Okay, so these are the parameters of this function, right? So the setCharacter function requires a name, an image name, and a quote, and then we use those parameters inside of here. Okay, so let's do the question mark right here. So I'm gonna, hold on, before I erase it, let me do this first. I'm gonna call the setCharacter function. So we use the name of the function followed by parentheses, and then we pass in the name, which is just gonna be 5 question marks. We're gonna pass in the image name, which is question -mark. And then a comma, and then we pass in the quote, which is character not found. And then that can replace all of this code. Set character to that. Cool. So the question mark gets stored inside of the name parameter. This question mark, sorry, the actual question marks get stored in here, the word question mark gets stored in here, and the quote gets stored in here and updates accordingly. So let's do the same for monkey. Set character, we'll pass in the name, master monkey, right? That's right here. Comma, and then the actual image name is just lowercase monkey. And then we should hang out is the quote. And I can delete all of this. And repeat. Set character, master mantis. Mantis is the image name. There's the name, and then fear the bug. Fear the bug, exclamation mark. Okay, good. And we delete all of this. So again, see this code that we keep deleting, right? We wrote the code once, and then the function can reuse that code, right? Every time I call the function, it'll run this code. Call the function here, it'll run the code with the provided values. Okay, that's super important, right? These are the arguments that we pass into the function, and those arguments get stored inside of the parameters. So that's just some computer science vocabulary, right? The arguments and the parameters. All right, where were we? Let's do tigress, and then once we get all these, we'll test it to make sure it still works. Set character, master tigress. The image name is just tigress, and that was pretty hardcore. All right. And delete that. And last but not least, set character, we got Poe. The image is lowercase Poe, and then buddy. This is when he's talking to, oh shoot, what's his name again? To Tai Lung. It's like, buddy, I am the Dragon Warrior. Kung Fu Panda movies are so awesome. Like so. And then we can delete all of that. So again, you see how much more efficient this is, right? We've defined this code once, and we're reusing that code by calling the function multiple times. Okay, so again, the actual program itself, it doesn't look very impressive because it's still, it worked before and it's still going to work now. There's tigress, something that doesn't work, ta-da, master mantis. We got master mantis, right? So the names are changing. Let's try Poe. Poe, and the quote changes. Because each time we call the function, these values get passed into these parameters, which then get used to update the page. Ta-da! Okay, and if we wanted to add someone, maybe Master Shifu, right? I could just add an else if here. Else if name is equal to Shifu, or name is equal to Master Shifu. Then I would call the setCharacter function. And the name that I would want to use is Master Shifu, right? That's the first parameter, Master Shifu. The image name is just shifu.png, so Shifu like that. Oh, and I think, what quote would I want to use? Oh yeah, there is now a level 0. I think that's a good one. All right, let's save that and see if that works. So now I should be able to type Shifu in here, and image changed. Master Shifu, there's now a level 0. Okay, so how easy is that, right? Just call that function, pass in the data, reuses that code. All right, that's it. Hope that made sense. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.